Do you have the friendliest dog on the block? Does he attract people when you take him for a walk or just make people smile?
Well, if you answered yes, then having your dog become a therapy dog might just be an awesome fit. Handy Dogs and Therapy Animals of Southern Arizona is holding an information session, and they want you to be there. Joanne Turnbull and Caroline Chilcote joins us now with all of the details. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I think this is such a wonderful idea. My sister's dog is a handy dog, and people just light up when they get the opportunity to, whether it's just interact for a short time with dogs, pet them for a little bit. I mean, it really is such a day turner.
It really does make a difference, and there's a lot of research which shows that it releases endorphins, which make us feel good, helps us lower our blood pressure, reduce anxiety. So there's a real science and a reason why we take our dogs to visit others who need a little puppy loving.
Well, and tell us exactly about that. Let's talk about what therapy dogs do. What's their little day like?
Their day is to bring love and joy and comfort, and that's it. They are dogs who love to be around other people. They like to socialize, so they go and we visit people in hospitals, hospice, we do a dog program at schools and libraries, all sorts of different things like that. But they're just our pets. They're our pets, 99% of the time, and 1% they're out working, bringing joy to others.
So you decided that your dog would be a great fit.
We both decided. I always say it's a decision made by two, because the dog has to want to do this as much as the person does. So this is actually, I volunteer with my parents' dog, Chablis. My dog's too shy. She wouldn't want to be petted, so she made the decision. She doesn't want to do it, so I love her so much, I'm not going to force her to do something she doesn't want to do.
So how do you know when your dog would be a good dog? I mean, you mentioned that your dog is actually shy. How do you really know that?
Carolyn?
The most important characteristic is probably aptitude. When I first got Ollie and I adopted him, after a couple of weeks I noticed that he was so friendly and he loved interacting with people so much. And he also had this high energy level that I thought he needed to be fulfilled by work. But another characteristic that good therapy dogs will have is that they're comfortable in multiple situations. They don't mind being petted by more than one person. They're not afraid to go in new environments, like, say, hospitals or large buildings. And they are generally very comfortable around things like wheelchairs and walkers and things like that.
Okay. So, Carolyn, is there any specific training that the dogs need to go through?
Yes, absolutely. So there is training through pet partners. There's training for the handler, which is extremely important. There's probably more than you would imagine that a handler would need to know in order to be able to bring the dog. And then for the dog, there is basic obedience training. There's things that your dog needs to. You need to be able to walk on a leash, to sit, to stay, to obey your commands, to leave something alone when you tell him to leave something alone. And so there's training for the handler. And basically the handler then turns and trains their dog. And then the dog is evaluated to see if it has, first of all, the right attitude and aptitude for being a therapy dog, and then if they have the correct obedience skills.
And then do they do like a graduate class then, and they get their little handy dog certificate?
We do an evaluation. So Pet Partners does an evaluation. And it's a 22-part evaluation for the handler and the dog.
Wow!
And each one of those exercises, we call them the handler scored, the dog is scored, and the two as a team are scored. So they have to pass most of those. But yeah, it can be intensive. And that's how they become a therapy dog. So yeah.
And you mentioned before that they'll go into hospitals and they'll go into hospice, but then you said schools as well. So what do you do in schools? Because I know that they're therapy dogs.
The most popular thing that schools and libraries utilize therapy dogs for is read to a dog programs. So the children will actually read a book to the dog. And there's, again, research that shows students who are having trouble learning to read, by reading aloud to a dog who's non-judgmental, it helps improve their reading skills and their confidence, so that when they're asked to read a paragraph or a sentence in a classroom environment, they've built that confidence by reading out loud to a dog who did not judge them.
That is so cute. Okay, so if I went through the training and we passed most of the evaluation, am I in charge of calling different schools and saying I have a therapy dog that I'd like to bring to school and hospitals and hospice, or do you kind of help arrange that?
We have a local group here called Therapy Animals of Southern Arizona, and we're part of the Nationwide Pet Partners Therapy Dogs. And that local group, you become a member of Therapy Animals of Southern Arizona, and we'll help mentor you, we'll help find places that are looking for teams. And we have more places looking for teams, therapy dogs, than we do volunteers. So we need more volunteers.
Okay.
Wow. Well, that's great. We'll give a call out today to try and get people to come and volunteer. It's so non-judgmental about the reading, and they're both sitting there and they're just so like, their little tongues out.
I know. It's like we're telling them a story right now. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
They're like,
cute.
just pet me and I'm happy.
Right.
Well, Joanne, thank you so much for coming in. You guys are doing an awesome job, and thank you for helping others who are in need of just a little bit of four-legged therapy.
It's amazing what a dog can do.
Right, exactly. Well, Handy Dogs and Therapy Animals of Southern Arizona are jointly hosting a volunteer information session coming up on June 11th. That's from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. To learn more about it, just call Handy Dogs at 326-3412 or go online to handy-dogs.org.
Still ahead in the Morning Blend, we're inviting Ms. Senior Arizona 2010 on to talk to her newest member of Senior on the Move Club.
Plus, we're going to chat with our entertainment reporter about the must-see DVD Lone Survivor right after this.